What the fuck is up, guys? Today, I have a weapon review for you, and I'm going to be going over the content ID system that YouTube has been really hammering into people and that you guys probably know about. I'm going to try and shed some light on it because there's a lot of misunderstood information on the subject. I'm probably wrong on some things as well, but regardless, I did a lot more digging than, a normal person does. So I can explain that to you maybe better than other people. We'll see, though. I mean, I may be wrong. Feel free to correct me. Anyway, let's break this gun down. This is the CZ-3A1, and it shoots at 1,000 RPM. This gun is fucking crazy. It's a bull, and I fucking love it. I gotta say, I like it more than the FAMAS. It's right up there with the AEK. I think you can really do a lot of damage. This is the perfect example of a PDW. This gun, the UMP-45, I've had nothing but good luck with these PDWs as of late. I really do enjoy it. Now, the damage is not crazy. Maximum damage is only 25, and the minimum damage is 12.1. So this gun is fairly weak. However, because of how powerful the fire rate is, or how fast the fire rate is, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't matter what the damage is because you're putting out 1,000 rounds per minute. The muzzle velocity is incredibly slow, though. And I gotta say, when using this gun, I actually felt the muzzle velocity. It's actually somewhat noticeable. When you shoot your gun, even at a medium range, you have to lead your bullets just a little bit. And this is the first gun I have ever used in Battlefield 4 history where I really felt like at a medium distance, I had to really lead my shots. And the muzzle velocity is 370 meters per second. A suppressor is 190 meters per second. It might have been when I was using it with a suppressor, but holy fuck, that is slow. That is so slow. But regardless, the gun is amazing. I pull off some somewhat ridiculous kills, and then other times I choke with the weapon. It's just, this gun's all over the place, and you really have to be on top of your shit in order to control it. Now, one thing that I really did not like when it comes to the CZ-3A1 was the fact that you run out of ammo so fucking quickly. It's ridiculous. And you'll see throughout this gameplay, I actually have to switch weapons a lot. I have to pick up other people's guns, or I'm using my pistol in order to push people and be aggressive. And it's really not convenient at all to have to switch weapons all the fucking time. And it's not like I was going on crazy 10 kill streaks or anything like that. I'd kill a few people, and then all of a sudden, I'd just have to switch guns, and my accuracy wasn't, that awful. I thought it was okay for a console, joystick, Xbox One controller, but still. Now, in terms of playstyle, I really do believe you cannot be a campy player when using this fucking gun, man. You cannot. This thing is a horny leprechaun on cocaine. It jumps all over the place. It wants you to rush. I feel like this gun wants you to fucking rush. And if you're not rushing, what are you doing? And one of the ways that I was, being moderately successful while rushing, I dropped about 40 kills in this gameplay, was anytime my team was on one end of the map, I went to the opposite side of the map. And you may be wondering why. That's because if my team is at the opposite side of the map, and that's the way domination works. You typically have your whole team, they kind of wolf pack together, they rush one side of the map, and then the enemy team spawns on the opposite side of the map. So, in your head, you can kind of get ahead of the game a little bit, be 2 steps ahead. So, if all of my team is at C Hill, or something like that, then I go to the opposite end, all of the enemy team spawns, and I'm ready, and I can pick up 3 to 4 kills, be super passive, and you'll see me do that a few times here. Again, I'm still mastering this concept, and it doesn't always work because the battlefield spawns are not the best. But, if I can get 40 kills in a domination game, so can you. I'm not the best player in the fucking world. So, if you just take that tip with you, you don't have to have the best aim, you don't have to have the best movement, you don't have to have the best anything. But if you can read the enemy team, then you can be fucking successful. And that's what I really, really do appreciate with this weapon. It really encouraged me to try these new strategies out. Now, the reason I say that this gun is better than the FAMAS is because the FAMAS kicks so much that it's almost not fun to use. Almost not fun. I've been torn up by the FAMAS, so let me just clear the air here. I'm not the best with the FAMAS. I know some of you guys are just fucking goons with it, and I can't stand up to you if you use a FAMAS. But this gun, I feel like I could control the recoil pretty well. I feel like it was manageable, and this has to be one of my favorite PDWs, without a doubt. 1,000 RPM, I thought that 1,000 RPM was like the doomsday of Battlefield 4 weapons, but it's not. It's not. So again, guys, with this weapon, you're going to want to be really, really aggressive. I don't think attachments really matter, but for the sake of the commentary, I was using a compensator, a Cobra sight, and a stubby grip. So this allowed me to be really, really aggressive, as I said before. Now, the reason I say compensator is because the CZ-3A1 has so much left-to-right recoil that you really don't need a muzzle brake. I would highly recommend to not use a muzzle brake with this weapon. I would use a compensator. I tested both of them. Muzzle brake just does not seem to be worth it in this area. Okay, guys, that wraps up my review of the CZ-3A1. I love this PDW. Remember, you got to use it with an engineer, so you got to be very wary of your health. Also, man, use those RPGs to the best of your advantage. Use those rocket launchers, those SMAWs, those LAWs, those RPGs. Do whatever you got to do to blow people out of cover. It's always a lot of fun. Now, next thing I'm going to be talking about is the YouTube copyright system. Now, before I get into all of the problems that are going on with YouTube right now, let's take a step back and look at how this whole fucking system works. So, let's say I want to put money on, I want to get money from fucking playing video games and whatnot on YouTube. The way it works is I have to put advertisements on my channel. So every time you click on a video, you see an advertisement. Google takes, I think, 45%, and I take 55%. Okay, and that's pretty good. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, they do most of the heavy lifting with the YouTube side, and I create, content for them, so more people come on YouTube, and that's fine. The problem is that developers own the rights to the content that I'm putting out. So let's say I want to monetize Battlefield content. I want to monetize the Battlefield videos on my channel. Well, the problem is that DICE technically owns this content, but my voice is on top of it. In a legal dispute, if me and DICE were to go to court, DICE would win. So, essentially, I have no protection. I can make money, and DICE is letting me monetize my content out of the goodwill of their heart, but developers don't have to fucking do that if they don't want to. Nintendo has gone after people, Sega's gone after people. A lot of people have just gotten fucked over by developers, and technically, you're not even allowed to do this. So, what happened was, these big networks came along, like Machinima, Fullscreen, Maker, Polaris, all of these big networks that you guys know about, or TGN, that's another one. They came along, and they said, okay, we will get contracts from all of these different game developers, and we will make sure that you guys are safe. And we'll make sure that your videos do not breach any copyright law, or anything like that. And that's fucking awesome. That's pretty fucking cool. So, all of these people are like, yeah, I want to be in a network, blah, 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 blah. Well, that was fine for when it initially started. But what gradually happened was these networks started to figure out that they could make a lot of money. All you got to do is sweep up a big number of YouTube channels. So, let's say Machinima partners 20,000 YouTube channels. And I know TGN does this. They just partner everybody. Well, if they take 60% of your earnings, which is typically the contract. Typically the contract when you sign with a network is they take 60% and you take 40%. So Google takes the initial half of it, and then the network takes, 40% or 60%, I forget which one, and you're essentially left with scraps. You are left with scraps off the turkey. You don't get shit. And that sucks. Anyway, these networks start signing on all of these, just channels. Doesn't matter if you have 50 subscribers or 20,000. And even if a network makes $1 off of you a month, if there's 20,000 of you, they made $20,000 a month. Now, you you're allowed to do that. You know, fuck yeah, make money. You know, you should be wealthy. You should be able to, you know, really succeed in the business that you're doing. But here's where it got tricky. This is where all of the, you know, shit hit the fan, so to speak. So these networks started signing on thousands and thousands and thousands of YouTubers. Well, these networks don't have the manpower to look at all of the channels and make sure that they're not breaching copyright, to make sure that they're even allowed to monetize. So essentially, you have, you know, called 100,000 YouTubers who essentially can create content and no one ever looks at them. The networks own them, but no one looks at the content itself. So YouTube is getting really pissed off because there's, you know, tons of YouTubers who are just getting money and no one's watching them for copyright. It's basically the wild, wild west, and YouTube is not going to sign with the content creators. So if I get in a legal dispute against, you know, any corporation, YouTube will always side with the corporation. They have more money, they have more influence. Why should YouTube protect me? It just makes no sense. I'm just one lonely YouTuber. Now, these networks essentially made me sign a contract that said, okay, don't worry, we'll take care of you, we'll make sure that everything's okay. These networks supposedly provided protection, but that's not the case. In fact, the networks did not provide protection. Machinima, Maker, all of, you know, TGN, they do not provide protection. It was a lie. They lied in the contract, and they essentially signed on all of these people and didn't have enough manpower to fucking, you know, look through everybody and make sure they weren't breaching copyright. So, YouTube decided to, you know, throw the hammer down. And when they threw the hammer down, that's when everyone got pissed off, even if it wasn't YouTube's fault. So, don't put all the blame on YouTube. I know it sounds really complex. You might have a headache by now. I know I did. But essentially what happened was these big networks, they fucked up, they partnered way too many people, and they could not monitor the amount of people that they signed on. But they were still taking a huge amount of money from these content creators. So, that about does it, guys. It's so fucked up, and it makes no sense. But again, don't hate on YouTube. If you're going to throw hate anywhere, you should be hating on Machinima, Fullscreen, Maker, TGN, because you know what? They fucked over the YouTube creators. They're the ones that fucked over the people that work hours and hours every day to give you guys awesome content. So, I wouldn't blame YouTube, I would blame them. But, again, you know, I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know where the hammer is gonna fall next. Who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. All I know is that you've got more videos coming your way. That's it. That's all we need to worry about, man. At the end of the day, don't stress it. Be easy. Again, guys, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Anyways, it's been real. Take it easy. Peace.